Cat at the 20th edition of the Super Cat Show. The annual two-day event brings together many of the world's 60 cat breeds. Bengals, Maine Coon, Siberian, and many others were on display, along with house cats and street cats. There's also been a big push this year to encourage people to take home rescue cats who are also at the show. The idea is to have the VIP cats, the purebred ones, help abandoned cats, or street breed cats as they're called around here. This year, 18 kitties found new forever homes. They do a lot of dog shows like Westminster, but not a lot of big cat shows.
No, that's true. Yeah, I'd love to see that. That looks really fun.
I guess Persian cats are good if you're allergic to cats because they have different dander.
Oh, that's good to know. I did not. Charlotte is nodding her head. The cat expert over here. Yeah.
Eric, you didn't know that. I did not know. There's other people over here. You're going to see in just a minute. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.
And right now at 5, a top diplomat admits a quid pro quo with Ukraine. Will have the crucial testimony that could impact the impeachment inquiry.
With considerable growth projected in Dane County, how one community is planning for the future.
Plus, the Goodman Center giving food baskets to families in need during Thanksgiving. How you can help them with their mission.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3 Now. It's a pivotal day in the impeachment inquiry.
Today, one of President Trump's top diplomats confirmed to lawmakers that there was a quid pro quo involving the president and Ukraine. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, opened his testimony by confirming a visit to the White House by Ukraine's president was contingent on the country announcing a public investigation into a company associated with the Bidens and 2016 election interference. Lawmakers pressed Sondland on a text exchange that he had with the top diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor. At that time, he claimed the president told him in a phone call, no quid pro quo.
I just said, what do you want from Ukraine? I may have even used a 4-letter word. And he said, I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo.
I want nothing. I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo.
A second round of hearings just got underway with 2 more witnesses, defense official Laura Cooper and State Department Undersecretary David Hale.
The support for impeaching and removing President Trump from office appears to be decreasing in Wisconsin, a key swing state in the 2020 election. The Marquette University Law School poll released today shows 40% of respondents in support of impeaching and removing the president. That's down from 44% last month. In the latest poll, 53% say they do not support impeachment and removal. That's up from 51% against impeachment in October. The poll of 801 registered voters was taken last week as the impeachment inquiry started.
Wisconsin's congressional delegation is keeping a close eye on the impeachment proceedings.
And that includes Mark Pocan of Madison, who first called for the president's impeachment months ago. News 3 Now spoke with him in Washington today, and Charlotte DeLeste joins us with more. Charlotte.
Well, Eric and Susan, no surprises from Congressman Pocan. As you said earlier, he's a longtime supporter of this impeachment. Now, Pocan called the Ambassador Sondland's testimony today strong firsthand evidence by a donor to the president. He also took shots at Senator Ron Johnson for not taking proper action when he learned about the potential issues with Ukraine by the president. Pocan saying it's now clear to most people what the president did wrong. Meanwhile, the vice president was in the state today visiting Marinette Marine workers, saying Democrats are spending all of their time on impeachment rather than funding national defense initiatives.
But things are getting a little tied up in Washington these days. While Democrats in Congress continue to spend all their time on endless investigations and a partisan impeachment, they haven't been able to find time to fund our national defense or give us the increase.
The vice president urging the crowd to pressure Democrats into passing the president's trade deal with Mexico and Canada to boost Wisconsin dairy exports. The president, of course, narrowly won Wisconsin in 2016, and it figures to be a swing state once again in the coming years. So do expect more visits from both parties.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of action here in Wisconsin, no doubt. Charlotte, thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. The fog has moved out and the rain is on the way. Let's check in now with meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, you're right, Dan, and we've also turned mild, too. Temperatures have climbed into the middle 40s this afternoon. But as we look at visible cloud track, there was a little bit of sunshine over southwestern Wisconsin, and that made the difference as far as temperatures are concerned. The rain is just moving into southwestern Iowa, so it still has a ways to go before it gets here, but it'll be here tonight. You can see high temperatures so far today, mid-40s. A few places that had sunshine, like Janesville, Mineral Point, and Boscobel, hit the 50-degree mark, and temperatures now are in the lower to middle 40s, but these temperatures only fall a few more degrees before they start climbing overnight. In fact, look for temperatures to climb into the middle 40s by tomorrow morning as rain begins and it turns windy as well. Tomorrow's high temperature of 52 will be around noontime. The rain will end as a cold front comes through, but temperatures will drop off into the lower 40s by late in the day. Later on, after a quiet weekend, we'll take a look at a storm system that could affect us right before Thanksgiving.
Gary, thank you. One of the two men accused of a shooting on Madison's east side last year has been sentenced. Court records show 22-year-old DeJuan Briggs will serve 4 years in state prison with 6 years extended supervision. Briggs was found guilty on 3 counts, including first-degree recklessly endangering safety. He's accused of firing multiple shots, hitting and injuring a 16-year-old La Follette High School student.
2 people are injured after a head-on crash in southern Dane County. Dispatchers say it happened around 7:30 this morning at the intersection of Wisconsin 92 and Glenway Road near Brooklyn. Officials say a semi and a truck were involved. Highway 92 was closed in both directions because of the crash.
And an update on a story we brought you last night. Senator Tammy Baldwin's office says the National Guard has launched an investigation into efforts to discharge a Wisconsin whistleblower. Wisconsin Air National Guard Master Sergeant Jay Ellis's complaints last year about sexual misconduct in his unit spurred 2 federal investigations that are still ongoing. Ellis said his superiors decided to discharge him in order to deny retirement benefits in retaliation. The Wisconsin National Guard has launched an investigation into those allegations.
Finding reasonable housing in Dane County can be difficult, including in Fitchburg, where city leaders are preparing for the future with considerable growth.
Madeline O'Neill tells us how you can get involved tonight. Maddie?
Eric and Susan, the city is putting together a comprehensive plan that will guide all types of growth over the next 20 years. That includes economic development, infrastructure, and housing. The coalition Fair Housing Fitchburg is advocating for more fair, attainable housing in Fitchburg, which can be in short supply. And members say now is the time to plan ahead.
That plan will become the map for all future land use decisions in the city for the next 10 years. It's required that they redo it every 10 years or review it every 10 years. So this is a big moment for Fitchburg, anybody that cares about how it's going to develop in the future.
City officials will be presenting their current draft of the plan and answering questions tonight before adopting an official version early next year. An open house starts at 6:30 in the City Hall Council chambers. We'll have more on what the planning process looks like tonight at 6.
Madeline, thank you. A remembrance ceremony for transgender people was held on the steps of the Capitol today. Participants read the names of people who have died by anti-transgender violence. According to a report by the Human Rights Campaign, at least 22 trans and gender nonconforming people have been killed in the U.S. so far in 2019. The Day of Remembrance has been acknowledged across the country for the past 20 years.
Every year, we partner with the Goodman Community Center in Madison, asking all of you to help thousands of people put a Thanksgiving meal on their table.
This year, the center is offering those food baskets to more families than ever, but the need continues to grow. Danica Lewis shares what the pantry program and these Thanksgiving meals mean to them.
You take care of things around you, and then that comes back.
It's why Ward Harding comes back to the Goodman Community Center every Tuesday morning.
Don't care what anybody else says or thinks. You do the right thing.
Sure, there's a free breakfast.
Would you like some?
Yeah.
A cup, or in Harding's case, many cups of coffee.
It's a great place.
My kind of guy.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I look forward to it.
But for this Korean War veteran, it's not just what's served.
There's an education.
But what's said. That matters.
People can sit down, they can be themselves. They don't have to be intelligent. They don't have to be wealthy. They can just be a person.
Harding says everyone brings something to the table. Different people with different backgrounds, different viewpoints. and one thing in common.
The need in the community it grows every single year.
Sam McDaniel is the food pantry coordinator. He says demand there has gone up by 25% this year alone, which means the need for Thanksgiving meals has increased as well. For the first time, Goodman will offer nearly 4,000 families in Dane County baskets with a turkey and all the fixings, something that takes hundreds of volunteers to pull off.
They're all members of the community. They're all stepping up to help other people who they don't know. And you can see it in the people's faces when they come, how much that means.
The hope is those who come for food might come back for other help too.
And there are so many programs and services that we offer here that lots of people need and don't know exist. And the more we can have them come here and feel comfortable, the more likely they are to come to the food pantry, to come to the older adult programming, or to bring their kids here for preschool or after school.
You know what the most important word is? Understanding.
Some come for food, but come back.
No, I think I'll pass on those.
For community.
I just come in here and be a person.
The biggest needs right now are turkeys, but the pantry is accepting anything you're willing and able to give this time of year. Anything that doesn't make it into the Thanksgiving baskets will go to the pantry for all of those people on the wait list for these baskets. Now, you can also make a monetary donation. That's a big one. Goodman has relationships with food banks and grocers in the area that allows them to stretch that each dollar much farther than you and I can. So hopefully people will find a place to give.
You're so right. Danica, thank you.
Meanwhile, the Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin is receiving a major donation. Bimbo Bakeries, Tyson Foods, and Walmart all teaming up to donate 15,000 pounds of bread and chicken. The donation equals about 13,750 meals for people in our area.
But with 41 million Americans faced with hunger, we need the support of partners like Walmart, Tyson, and Bimbo. And so it is so exciting to take part in this event and see them all come together to donate the bread and the protein that is so badly needed.
Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin serves the 1 in 10 people who struggle with hunger in Southern Wisconsin.
Right now, the Salvation Army of Dane County is hosting a community Thanksgiving meal. It's happening at the Salvation Army Gymnasium on Darbo Drive in Madison. The meal is open to the public and it goes until 7 o'clock tonight. Wisconsin's Seth Gross has been named USA Wrestling Athlete of the Week. Gross, who wrestles 133 pounds collegiately, dropped about 8 pounds to defeat 3 NCAA champions to capture the Bill Ferrell Championship. Gross is now qualified for the Olympic trials in April. He is currently undefeated with the Badgers and ranked the #1 wrestler in the 133-pound weight class. The Badgers travel to Utah Valley on Saturday. Their Big Ten opener is against Iowa on December 1st.
And check them out. The Milwaukee Bucks revealing a new jersey, trying to match the Brewers here, right? The organization announcing their newest Cream City jerseys, doing so on Twitter today. They say this design, inspired by the past while being grounded in the present. The uniform's cream foundation is a nod to the bricks that built the foundation of the city. The Bucks will wear these uniforms 20 times during the season. They'll wear them for the first time on November 30th against Charlotte.
Well, have you always wanted to text J.J. Watt? Now, here's your chance. In a 1-minute video posted on Twitter, the former Wisconsin Badger released his phone number to the public and explained how he wants fans to text him. Watt reportedly has already received more than 25,000 texts from fans, and he's even responding to a few. Between the money he's raised for charities and hurricane victims, his impact on the gridiron, or just the way he's made an effort interacting with fans, there is no reason not to love J.J.
Quit
Watt.
texting him, will you, Susan? My gosh, he's got time on his hands. He's out with an injury, so just text him. He's got time. All right, there's more to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, Atlanta hosting the 5th Democratic debate tonight. We'll tell you what the candidates could be discussing.
And coming up tonight at 6, a Wisconsin woman is winning the trip of her dreams. We'll explain why Dane County is honoring her with a trip to San Francisco.
And red numbers on Wall Street in midweek trading. The Dow off 113 points. The Nasdaq lost 44, while the S&P 500 was down a dozen. We'll be right back after a short break. 10 Democratic presidential hopefuls are facing off in the 5th Democratic debate tonight. This one comes at a critical time in the race, just 75 days now until the Iowa caucuses. It'll happen at Tyler Perry's news studio in Atlanta. This time around, South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg is the one that enters with some new momentum in the polls. Former Vice President Joe Biden, Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders remain at the top of the field as well. Political analyst Rashad Ritchie says candidates who stick to common sense will do best.
So I'm looking for Joe Biden to hold his own. He doesn't really have to hit a grand slam, and he knows it, but he can't fail in the debate. I'm also looking for Warren and Sanders to figure out ways to continue to show how they're different from each other in their ideology.
The candidates are expected to focus again on health care, including Warren's $20 trillion plus Medicare for all proposal. Other topics include gun control, immigration, taxes, and who has the best chance to beat President Trump.
The nods are in for this year's Grammy Awards, and singer and rapper Lizzo is at the top of the heap. Lizzo's song Truth Hurts helped her nab 8 Grammy nominations, including Record, Album, and Song of the Year. Lil Nas X was nominated 6 times, as was Billie Eilish. The 17-year-old is the youngest artist in the history of the Grammys to earn nominations in the top 4 categories. The 62nd Annual Grammy Awards will air Sunday, January 26th at 7 p.m. right here on CBS.
Well, we saw in that crash video earlier, the fog certainly was an issue this morning. Let's see what's lying ahead with meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, you'd think we could have fog again tonight with the mild temperatures and the melting snow and the rain on the way, but the winds will pick up and that will prevent fog from forming. The rain's still a ways off. It's back in southwestern Iowa, so nothing really showing up across Wisconsin right now. But as you take a look at temperatures right now, they're still pretty mild. Madison is at 41. Now that's down 4 degrees from our high of 45. Janesville's at 45. They did hit 50 earlier. These temperatures only fall a few more degrees before they start rising as the winds pick up out of the south and southeast. And even our northern viewing area, temperatures are in the upper 30s. They'll only fall a few more degrees before they start climbing. In fact, on Future Track beginning at midnight, notice Madison at 42 degrees, temperatures in the mid 40s to our south and west, and those temperatures slowly rise overnight. By 6 a.m., we're in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees, and the rain continues overnight to about noon tomorrow. That's when this cold front comes through. Notice the wind shift from the south and southwest to the northwest, and temperatures that will be in the 50s ahead of the front will fall pretty quickly into the 40s. So during the afternoon, those temperatures will drop off, and by late afternoon and around 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, those temperatures should be in the upper 30s, although the rain will be over with at that point, so we're not looking for any snow. Rainfall amounts probably in the ½ to 1 inch range. Not a terribly high amount of rain, but this time of year you don't expect that much rain, plus some melting snow could lead to some localized ponding of water. But take a look at high temperatures over the next 10 days. 52 tomorrow, then down to 35 on Friday. Temperatures pretty close to average for the weekend, and then a trend downward again as we head into the latter part of next week, just before the Thanksgiving holiday. We still have alert days in the forecast for next Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, we could start out with a mix of rain and snow that actually could start as early as Monday night, stay with mainly rain during the day, and then change back to snow late Tuesday night into Wednesday, when there could be some snow accumulation before it comes to an end. Latest Future Track computer model beginning late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. You can see a mixture of rain and snow into southern Wisconsin. The very latest computer models now actually keep the storm a little farther to the southeast. This is actually very new within the last couple of minutes, and that would keep us on the cold side of the storm. So we're going to have to see if that computer model forecast holds, because it would improve the situation for Wednesday, but give us the possibility for accumulating snow on Tuesday, and then temperatures will stay cold for the Thanksgiving holiday. Right now, we're thinking mainly light snow on Wednesday with a high of 34 and falling temperatures, about freezing for Thanksgiving, and then Friday, a high of 31 and a chance for some light snow or flurries. The live view from the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison, pretty quiet out there right now, no rain, no fog. High today 45, the low 37. The high temperature above normal for the first time since October 27th. Right now we're at 41, skies are mostly cloudy, humidity at 89%. The wind chill right now is at 36 degrees. Forecast for tonight calls for cloudy skies. Expect for light rain to develop overnight. Low temperature at 40, and it'll be windy as well. The 40 will be this evening with rising temperatures overnight. Tomorrow will be windy with rain in the morning, high of 52 around lunchtime, and then turning colder in the afternoon as the wind shift to the northwest and temperatures start to drop. Again, on Future Track, Cloudy skies, rain overnight into tomorrow morning, ending around noon, and then you can see the colder air sweeping in, those temperatures dropping off late in the day. Then we clear out tomorrow night, and on Friday, even though we'll have bright sunshine, high temperatures will only make the middle 30s. Those rainfall amounts, probably about a ½ inch to close to an inch in some spots. 7 to 10 day forecast, temperatures pretty close to normal for the weekend. We're watching that storm Tuesday and Wednesday, and then quiet for Thanksgiving, but cold and some light snow chances right after that. As we take a look at first alert traffic right now, the Beltline not looking too good at Park Street, seeing some delays, pretty significant delays on the eastbound Beltline, beginning around Monona Road, going back to west of Verona Road. You can see traffic still moving pretty slowly there. Traffic starting to pick up on US 12 heading northward out of Middleton. Otherwise, right now, it's a little more than a half hour on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to I-3990, 22 minutes going back in the westbound direction. The usual 26 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline, 18 minutes to Sauk City on US 12. Now the traffic north of Middleton is cleared out, and 17 minutes from downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue, US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
Thank you, Gary.
Ahead on News 3 Now in 5, the latest fashion statement is good for the environment. We'll tell you why after a short break. With the holidays approaching, more people are choosing to make eco-friendly clothing purchases.
Laura Podesta tells us why.
Alden Wicker is a journalist who writes about environmentally friendly clothing. When she goes shopping, she cares about more than making a fashion statement.
I'm really into shopping at brands that have a certification that means that they use non-toxic dyes.
Organic, responsibly sourced, and all natural used to be words reserved for food. Now they can describe clothing, too.
A good portion of our wool is made responsibly, and we really look how the folks making our clothes in our factories are treated.
Bridget Rousseau is with Eileen Fisher, one of several major brands that also recycle clothes.
Tell me a little bit about this sweater here.
So this is true vintage Eileen Fisher. We believe it's from the 80s, maybe early 90s.
Customers can bring back old Eileen Fisher pants, shirts, or sweaters in exchange for a $5 coupon. The garments are cleaned and repaired, then resold at a discount.
When it comes to the number of Eileen Fisher garments that you've gotten back, do you know that number?
Over the 10 years, we've taken back 1.3 million pieces.
It's helping to reduce what fashion journalist Mark Bain says is the industry's greatest offense.
Probably the biggest problem in the fashion industry is just the volume of clothing it produces.
According to the Environmental Protection Agency, 11 million tons of textiles are dumped in landfills each year. That's why before even stepping into a store, Wicker asks herself, what do I actually need?
I think about what is a hole in my closet.
To really help save the environment, she says shopping as a pastime should be a thing of the past. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
And stay with us. We'll have a final check your forecast in just a moment.
Tonight on the CBS Evening News, a key witness in the impeachment inquiry says he acted on the president's orders, and top officials were in the loop. You've got that tonight on the CBS Evening News.
A mailman in Wisconsin says he's been the victim of foul play while on the job.
Postman Jeff Burns says at the end of his route every day he picks up a friend who follows him. A wild turkey chases Byrne every day up and down the block. Neighbors now call the turkey Mortimer. Burns says the turkey's been doing this now for more than a month. You know, we have a lot of wild turkeys around, even in the station out here.
Yeah, we do in the parking lot.
West side of Madison. They need to be careful this time of the year.
I was going to say, is Mortimer going to be around after next Thursday?
It's going to be wet and windy tonight, huh?
Yeah, some rain on the way. Still a ways off, just moving into southwestern Iowa, but it'll become pretty rainy overnight, and it'll be windy as well, but that'll actually cause our temperatures to rise. Right now, they're in the upper 30s to the middle 40s. Only go down a couple more degrees before they start climbing. Look for highs tomorrow to top out in the lower 50s. That'll be around lunchtime. The rain will come to an end in the afternoon as it turns windy and colder and temperatures fall off. A little colder for Friday, quiet for the weekend, and then we have to watch a storm Tuesday and Wednesday right before Thanksgiving during that travel period there.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us. We're back in 30 minutes with more updates. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News.